Last time on Virginia Football, the building of a program.
It's exciting to be out here after doing all the meet and greet events and all that. So it's good now that now we do the football part of it. So we're ready to go. Part of changing the culture is it's a process. You come in, there's always elements that you want to bring to the table that who you are and what you believe in.
I had shown that kind of stretch of what I could do. But then at the end of the season, I showed them that I was still, an inexperienced player and still capable of making bad plays that hurt the team.
What I really try to bring to them is just the attitude that you have to play the game with. They all, and even me when I was their age, you think you're going to play this game forever, but it's a certain way I think you have to practice. I think it's a certain way you have to prepare in order to be a good player or a great player on Saturday.
Get up the field, create havoc in the backfield, and now let the linebackers run to the openings.
Nice, nice, way to go, AT!
The wide receivers coach under Mike London is one of Virginia's greatest former quarterbacks, Sean Moore. Moore was involved in building the Virginia football program 25 years ago.
When I was looking at the University of Virginia in 1985 as a high school senior, quite honestly, there wasn't a lot of talent on the team. We started to get guys from the Tidewater area, the Ray Savages of the world, Jason Wallace's, some of those guys that are down in the Tidewater area now, the same place that we're targeting recruits. They made a decision to come to the University of Virginia. And I think when those guys started to come to school and we started to get more and more each year, the talent level started to change. And that's when the 89 team started to win 10 wins, an ACC championship, and the 90 team had that swagger about them. And we had a great recruiting class with the Terry Kirbys and Chris Slades of the world who were national recruits.
Moore certainly had a hand in placing Virginia football in the national spotlight. His teams won the ACC championship in 1989 and ascended to the top of the national polls in 1990. A first-team All-American, Moore holds the school record for career total offense and placed fourth in the 1990 Heisman Trophy balloting. Following graduation, he played professionally for 5 years before taking a job on the NCAA enforcement staff.
The responsibilities were tough, but I felt like it prepared me for the rest of my career. I spent 3 years on the enforcement staff doing major investigations and also educating young prospective student athletes about the whole recruiting process.
Over the last decade, Moore has served as a scout for the XFL, Associate Athletics Director at Howard University, and the Director of Sports Partnerships for USA Football. He then accepted an opportunity to return to coaching at the high school level.
For the last 4 years, I was at St. Albans School for Boys in Washington, D.C., which is a school affiliated with the National Cathedral, and worked there as Dean of Students, assistant football coach, assistant basketball coach, assistant track coach, counselor, assistant to admissions. You wear a lot of hats in independent schools. I enjoyed that experience. It's probably by far one of the best jobs I've ever had in my entire life. And one of the reasons I left that job is I felt an obligation to come back to this place that was so good to me. And I just wanted to see what it was like, to get into college athletics, again, be a coaching at this level, and coming back to a place that was special, a place that I knew, and a place that I felt like we could get that swagger back and get this program back to where it belongs.
I think Sean is going to be a great asset to us as far as coaching the wide receivers from a quarterback perspective in terms of why you have to run the route this way or that way. Sean is another UVA alum, as everyone knows. You look at the picture, student athlete, I think Sean Moore can represent that very well.
Moore knew his learning curve coaching a new position at the college level would be steep. This was reinforced in a staff meeting during his first day at UVA.
There were so many coaches with so many backgrounds. They would use acronyms, and they kept saying, Sean, your guy has MDM. I said, what the hell is MDM? I said that to him. And they said, oh, my bad, you haven't coached the most dangerous man. I said, okay, all right, well, tell me. Don't just say use acronyms, and because, you make the assumption, and Believe me, I played a lot of football in my day, and I know a lot of football, and there's still a lot of football that I will learn. But I've been out of it, and I've been coaching at a level where, you know, it was pretty simple. We kept it pretty basic.
Hey, if the naked is away from you, you know your backside crosser, and you're clearing out. If it's coming to you, just know if it's naked is coming to you. If it's
Even with the tight end on my
if it doesn't matter. The naked is if it's coming to you, you're clearing it out.
For me, you know, having always coached quarterbacks, I never really paid attention to what was going on outside with the receivers. I just said, hey, you run your route, run the correct depth, and it's all about time and get to your route when you're supposed to be there. So now having coming here and having to coach receivers, it's a whole different ballgame. I mean, getting these guys lined up in their proper alignment and the proper stance and getting off the football and adjusting the coverages. It's been a transition for me because I had to learn all of that before even meeting the guys and having gone into spring ball. I had to learn all that. So it was really a cram session. In addition to learning just the technique part of it, you had to learn the offense.
He came, like he was off, and he ran up on me, went inside.
Yeah, stay outside. Stay out. Always stay outside. That's the new rule. Outside, 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 outside.
He knows about timing. The hard part is, how do I get the ball? And how do I get to the ball? And the quarterback's thinking this. And I'm glad that I have him because now I know what Mark and what those other guys are thinking. He'll start off the play like, okay, everybody, the quarterbacks are thinking this right now. So you need to do this. So he'll tell us before we even know what the quarterbacks are going to come to us and say.
Hands up, hands up! Nice ball, nice ball.
There's definitely a relationship between him and I because, you know, I can ask him, you know, what do you think of this or how did you do this? And he can tell me based off of his experiences what he went through. So that's a pretty good asset to have for me and for the other quarterbacks.
When I was looking at universities and found out that I had received Access UVA, that really took the burden of financing my education off of my shoulders and allowed me to be a normal student. Access UVA is the University of Virginia's financial aid program. I've received one of the best educations in the world, and I'm really grateful for how UVA has set me up to enter the workforce. Without Access UVA, I would have never come to the University of Virginia, and I would have missed out on the best 4 years of my life.
The first time I got on the field was against USC. It was the first play of the second half, and I was scared out of my mind because I looked across the field and I saw Taylor Mays looking me up and down, and I wasn't that big of a guy back then. I'm not big now, but back then I was really small. And they threw me in the game like right there, and I was like, "Are you sure you want me in?" You know, and I think we were losing, and I just was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go." The first play was a pass to me, an out route, and I caught it, and then my life has been crazy ever since.
Jared Green, the redshirt freshman, made a terrific catch on the near sideline.
Green finished the 2008 season with 12 catches for 144 yards and a touchdown. But the Cavaliers finished the year with just 5 wins and didn't play in a bowl game.
Yeah, we had a really bad year, and we got a lot to do in the offseason, but I felt good because I was like, man, I established myself, and I needed that in order to do something in the future.
Virginia switched to a spread offense in 2009 under new offensive coordinator Greg Brandon.
It was tough going into the 2009 season because there were a lot of questions out there just floating in the air. We never done this no-huddle thing. Is this gonna work? Leading up to that game, I was like, okay, we're ready to go. And I feel confident. There's a couple things that are missing in this thing, but I feel confident in who we are. Once we got into the game and things weren't working, I was like, okay, you know, back to the drawing board. Man, this season was awful, you know, and I'm like, okay, what happens next? And I remember I was talking to my dad on the phone, and I was like, it's so low, the only way to go is up. I was like, you can't get any worse than what we did.
Jared's father is former Washington Redskins great and Hall of Fame cornerback Darrell Green.
I definitely have pressures on me being the son of Darrell Green, and not even gonna fake. He gives me some pressure, and he'll tell me, and he'll ask questions. He won't tell you something. He'll ask you something. He'll say, "Do you really want this?" Or, "Are you really giving it your all? I'm not there right now. I can't see what you're doing. Are you really?" Those questions. You're like, "Wow! Like, why are you asking me that?" He teaches me stuff, and then he gets me around people that if he doesn't really know everything about it, then he's going to call somebody and they're going to tell me. And that's been pretty helpful over my career. I guess nobody has that. Can't take that for granted. I really need that.
After back-to-back losing seasons, Green embraced the new attitude Mike London and the assistant coaches were instilling in the players.
Our first morning practice or workout with Coach London was the most intense time at UVA for me personally. You had these new coaches coming out for the first time. I hadn't even met all of them yet. I didn't even know what to call some of them. Okay, right now I'm about to solidify myself and tell them who I am and what I'm here to do. I'm not here to joke and jive around. I'm not here to slap hands and be goofy today. It's about winning. And I wanted to set the tone, not only for the team, but for me, and tell myself, hey, this is how we're gonna be. I wanted everybody to know that if you look at Jared Green, you could depend on him. You're gonna see some fire coming out of him.
Jared has a tremendous amount of potential. The one thing he brings to the field is when you put him on the field and you say, Jared, you got a post or you got a go route, and if he knows he's got that, I mean, he's the type of weapon you want on the field at all times. So I think, the one thing he definitely picked up on this spring was when he had a route and he knew what he was doing, you had an opportunity for a big play. And I think every time he's on the field, you have an opportunity for a big play.
Big plays begin with the quarterback, and spring ball began with the starting job up for grabs.
I want to see the best quarterback earn the job and take it and run with it. It's a wide open approach. All those quarterbacks know that you're going to be evaluated daily and see how you perform.
Performance would determine who would earn the right to lead the Cavaliers.
All right, you ready today? Boom, boom, boom. Good tempo day today. Good tempo day.
Man, y'all might mess around and be good, man. I don't know. Jerry's still out here a little bit. Might mess around and be good. Be a good offensive line. Got to get it out of there, 6. You got to know when to get rid of the ball. A lot of times, an off corner like that is looking at you. When that little ball fake like there, that's huge. That's it, defense. That's it, defense. Put it on, brother. Put it on. Throw it to a spot. Put it on. They'll be there.
Learning a new playbook, the offense could not get on the same page. Open receivers were overthrown. Accurate passes were dropped.
Hang on to that ball. Come on, it's not rocket science. You just run your route. He's going to throw it to a spot. It'll be there. The ball will be there waiting for you.
While the offense struggled, Jared Green suffered growing pains of his own. Luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. And number 2 was having no luck at all.
Come on, Jared, opportunities. Jared, you had an opportunity right there. You don't worry about it. You come off his tail. Understand? You don't worry about what he does. You do what you do.
What Green did was grow. Spring football is an education, and the learning curve was steep for a team in transition from the spread offense to a balanced attack with more emphasis on the tight end position.
That's right. We do have tight ends around here. Hey, Torsha, the tight end is back in the offense. How about that? I know you're happy about that.
Tight end Joe Torsha embodies Virginia's new look. The high school All-American saw his role diminish due to injury, and the Cavaliers switched to the spread offense. After off-season shoulder surgery, he begins 2010 on the comeback trail. Big tailback Keith Payne is trying to make a different comeback after quitting the squad in 2009.
It was kind of a selfish decision. You know, I let my teammates down, basically. I just didn't feel comfortable at all. There was not a day that I didn't go by saying I wanted to play football.
Come on, Keith. You want to carry the ball? Stay out in front.
Finish! Finish, Keith!
I sat down and talked to Coach London. You know, he straight up told me from the beginning, you're not going to be handed anything. He's like, you get a fair chance, you know, and that's what I've always wanted, was a fair chance.
In a game that's 90% mental, focus must be absolute.
When you guys are going fast, you have to be careful about putting your hand down right before the snap or something like that. Any kind of movement there a little bit. I'll tell you what, that's going to kill us right there.
Ready, hot!
Get your mind in it. Get your mind right. Get your mind right.
You can't even get a ball snap, Ross. Stay in there and get the snap.
Come on, come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Back in the huddle! What are we doing? Let's go. Here we go. Back in the huddle again.
The way you call the play makes a difference. You gotta fix that. But you gotta call it. And then when you get to the point where you call it like that, they start believing that you know, man, I'm gonna fire that F post in there. Buckle your chin strap, screw your heads on, and let's play offense.
Ready, I see some guys just on the edge. You gotta step off the edge here, let yourself go. Somebody's got to step up, make a play. Somebody's gonna have to make a big block, a big catch. That's how we're gonna get better.
That's a way to bring them back. All right, we're looking like football now.
Get up to the line of scrimmage like you're getting ready to score, like you expect to get in the end zone.
There we go! There we go! Finish! Finish! Finish, Keith!
That's how you end practice, Keith. It's how you end it. That was a very good practice. It wasn't great, it was very good. This is a learning situation, particularly offensively. You got to know the snap count. We can't jump all sides. Can't get any penalties to move us back. Quarterback, you got to know when to get rid of the ball. You can't take a sack. Now, the goal is next week to even get better. I'm a caretaker and I'm a servant because I serve the student athletes in which I'm in charge of and the coaches and their families. I'm a caretaker of this university's reputation in the academic and athletic arenas. But I want everyone to know that I can't do this by myself. I need the help of the fans, the students. I need the help of the community, the administration, coaches, and players. I need the help of everyone.
Jeff Hansen joined Mike London's staff from Richmond as defensive line coach and recruiting coordinator.
Jeff Hansen is tough and gruff on the outside, but really, I tell you what, the players that play for him, they love him. Jeff has been around different places. He's been in the state of Virginia for a long, long time, has established relationships and ties with people. A recruiting coordinator is exactly what you say it is. He coordinates the recruiting efforts. But along with that, you have to have a skill set of organization, of knowing people, of where to send coaches, of what profile schools to go visit, of how to set up weekends, different things like that. And with experience that he's had, then he knows how to do those things.
As far as the recruiting organization, basically what we do is every coach on the UVA staff has an in-state recruiting area. And we're going to recruit the state of Virginia first. I mean, we're going to try and get the majority of our players out of the state of Virginia and then go elsewhere to get other kids that we need. But basically, for the people on the staff that have familiarity in the state of Virginia, we tried to place them in areas that they'd already been, so they were familiar with coaches and players in that area.
He has a background of doing that and provides that kind of background to share with the other coaches when we go out on the road. This is what we're looking for. This is what we want. And then you come up with a profile. Again, there's a word profile, student athlete, and you go after them. So from the recruiting coordinator standpoint, I think that we've got a good one.
And so we tried to break areas out of state into basically areas that we've been before, surrounding states that we need to recruit and we've had great success with, that UVA is well known in. The importance in recruiting and getting a kid that's academically sound and that a kid that really, really, truly cares about being a great football player. There's specific areas in the country where in the communities, that's the way it is. And that's why we're recruiting those different areas of the country.
Go left hand stand. Hit, lock it out. Hit, elbow good. Punch. Hit, hand violence. Here we go. Hit, hand violence. Get, lock your elbow.
I'm a high energy guy. I'm a very detailed guy. I'm a guy that likes to have a lot of fun on the football field. And I want my players to play with high energy, be competitors, and be great workers on the football field.
Get both hands to the numbers. That's all right. Keep going. Get both hands.
And I consider myself a teacher of life, a teacher of football, whatever it might be. I'm a teacher. And whatever I do as far as the teaching process is very detailed. And so everything I do in meetings and on the football field is a detailed process.
I know Coach Hansen on the field, he's going to be a stickler about some things, but I know off the field the guy loves me. I mean, he's a genuine guy, and on the field, like I said, he could get in your hair a little bit, but I know he cares about his players and cares about me as a person.
As defensive line coach, Hansen will help his players with the transition to the 4-3 defense.
The kids were really excited about the fact that we were going 4-3 because they knew we were going to penetrate up the football field. They knew they were going to have some fun in this process, and they knew they had a chance to really turn loose and go full speed. I mean, a lot of these kids came from a 3-4 scheme. A lot of kids came from a 4-3 scheme. But again, for our guys, we took some guys that were outside linebackers in the 3-4 and moved them to defensive ends. We took some guys that were defensive tackles in the 3-4 and we moved them to inside techniques in the 4-3. One of my guys came in my office, we were sitting talking, just like all of them do every once in a while. They said, "Coach, you know what your nickname is?" And I said, "No, what is it?" They said, "The Sarge." They call me the Sarge. And what I told these guys is that I'm not a sergeant. What you need to understand, I'm the general. You understand? In this group, I'm the general. I love my kids, and I love these players on this football team. And if you didn't care about the kids and didn't enjoy teaching and coaching and being a part of their life, you shouldn't be in this business. And these guys that we have here are tremendous kids. They really are.
In February, London and the administration decided to hold a spring practice away from Charlottesville in the Tidewater area.
Been trying to do things about thinking outside the box here, like, just doing something different than what's always been done. It's going to be beneficial to not only to Virginia, but it'll be in conjunction with Old Dominion.
When we left at 4 o'clock on buses, got to Norfolk, we arrived, we had team dinner. After dinner, we go to position meetings. After position meetings, you snack, you go to bed and wake up the next morning early. You go in and out of meetings, taping. Coaches have a coaching clinic they're putting on. We arrive at ODU about an hour and a half before we're getting ready to start for the scrimmage. You go through the dress routine.
London hoped that the event would help the program reconnect with Tidewater fans.
Here to see the spring football practice and to get my first glimpse of Mike London's team. And I'm just really excited. I'm so glad they came to the beach. I mean, this is an awesome idea.
It's good to see we got a good support, and I wish we had something like this when I was in school.
I graduated in UVA in '88, and I live here in Virginia Beach, so this was an opportunity to bring my son and his friend just come out and see the team.
We couldn't actively participate with the recruits down there because of the rules and things like that, but we know that they were there in the stands and they saw tempo, practices, the coaches coaching and teaching. We want to be reinvested in their community down there, that particular area.
Next on Virginia Football, the building of a program. We'll take you inside the huddle at ODU.
Go across. Don't be waiting back there.
Mike Faragalli follows London to Virginia.
Every week we have the backs over for a little pasta, mama's pasta dinner. And that's always really good for chemistry and bonding and having a good time away from the X's and O's of football.
Torsh's wait continues.
It's difficult, just being an athlete in general and not being able to be on the field, it really chews you away. Your competitive spirit, you want to be out there, you want to be competing, and you want to be out there learning this new offense, and you want to be a part of this new staff coming in and changing the perception of UVA football. You want to be a part of that.
And Scott Wachenheim leaves the NFL to return to the college game.
These are the 6 guys. There's a tradition of excellence. There's a lot expected from this room, and we want to carry the torch and carry the banner and keep it up and make those guys proud of us.